Hey there. Welcome to my first real video. It's this is Honesty Compels Me. Yeah, so I guess might as well just get started, talk about some things that I want to talk about. Um, and we'll just see how it goes. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure this whole channel thing out. I'm just going to sit and talk and give my thoughts. So, let's do it. So, the first thing I'd like to talk about with this video is the question of what is a loser? Loser is a word that we hear thrown around a lot. It's a word that, well, it's a pejorative, let's be honest. It's a term that nobody wants to be labeled as. And it does kind of carry with it certain moral implications, as if you're somehow of less worth as a human being if you're a quote unquote loser. But what does it actually mean to be a loser? So, you know, if you look at it from a purely etymological standpoint, it's the opposite of winner. And it implies that we're playing a game where there are competitors and some people win, some people lose. In sports, that's morally neutral, but in life, it's seen as like, well, those who win, quote unquote, in life are better than those who, quote unquote, lose in life. So, how do you win in life? The question is, what standard are you measuring it by? It could be, are you romantically successful? Do you have no trouble attracting a partner? Have you reproduced? Have you had kids? Have you had a family? That's one way you could measure success. Another way you could measure it is by money. You know, is it because you've acquired a lot of resources and your ability to accumulate them demonstrates your superiority? That's one way you could look at it. Or you could just have it be measured by the influence you assert to others around you. Do you change the way people think? Do you shape the way our culture, our society works? I mean, those are all things that you could measure success by. And I guess if you're successful in various areas like that, you're a winner. And if you're not, well, people will say you're a loser. And really, I think people will just pick their favorite criterion to determine who's the winner and who's the loser. And, I think most people are going to choose one that favors them. So people who are really good at making money are going to define success by how much money you make. And, you know, maybe a guy who's really good at getting women is going to define, being a winner or loser by how many women you can score, I guess. I don't think of things in those terms myself, but it's how some people are. Oh, you can't get a date? Well, then you're a loser. So, about me, am I a loser? Well, some people would say I check all the boxes. I'm in my 40s. I do have a job, but it's not a very high status job. It's a job I'm more or less happy with, for at least for this point in my life. But it's not a job that it doesn't carry with it a lot of prestige. I've not been romantically successful, as I have said in my intro video. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have a wife. Don't have any kids. You know, some people might say I'm a loser for that, and well, I'll just be honest with you. I currently live with my parents. Now, that's not something I intend to. That's my current circumstance. I don't intend for that to be my long-term circumstance. I am working to become more independent and more financially sound, so that I can be out on my own and not living with my parents. So it's not like I've decided that this is my life now. It's going to be from now on. But I still have a ways to go. So again, the question of what is a loser comes into play. Am I a loser? Some people would say I am, but I don't think I am. In fact, I very confidently feel that I am not a loser. And you want to know why? Because the way I define loser is somebody who gives up on making a meaningful contribution. And I've never done that. I've never given up on myself. I've never thrown in the towel on life. And there were times I wanted to. There were times I just felt like I was frustrated by my lack of success in various areas. I was frustrated by the fact that stuff that seemed to come naturally to others didn't come naturally to me. And I've heard the whole thing about like, well, you just got to try harder. You got to work harder. And the fact is, I have worked hard at a lot of things, and I didn't get the results I wanted. So it just kind of discouraged me. I thought, well, what's the point of working hard if if it doesn't bring results. If, you know, you bust your tail for some job and they still fire you, I mean, you're going to be like, well, what was the point of all that? Or if try as you might, you're just not good at your job, even though you've put all your effort into being the best employee you can be. I mean, I've had experiences like that. But, you know, maybe that's a subject for another video. I'll talk about my employment history a little bit. But as for being a loser, I have never given up on my life. I've never given up on trying to enrich the lives of others. I've never, you know, tried to denigrate others. I've never tried to tear down others. I've always, you know, I do make a very active effort to be somebody who benefits those around him, who builds up those around him. And I like to think that's a pretty meaningful contribution to the world, even if it doesn't always translate into financial success or what have you. And I've always just felt like, hey, what if I gave up on my life now, and then if I just kept at it a little longer, success would have found me. And I'm still living that way. Maybe I don't know yet that what kind of success awaits me. I don't know what my future holds, obviously, but I just feel like I have to keep plugging away. I have to keep doing it. I have to keep trying, because if I give up, that's when I really lose. So losers in my book are people who give up. You know, even if you don't necessarily meet the goals you're looking for, as long as you're willing to keep trying, as long as you're willing to keep working at it, as long as as long as you're not just quitting on life and deciding to just live for your own pleasures and screw the rest of the world, you're not a loser in my book. So yeah, I mean, I very confidently can say that I'm not a loser, despite the fact that some people would call me one. You know, even just the past few months, I've had some progress in my life in various areas, which, you know, I'm not going to get into detail with, but, you know, things in my job have gotten a little better. I've made progress in other areas of my life that I've been trying to make progress in. So right now, at this time of me recording this video in February 2025, I do feel somewhat good about my life and the direction it's heading in. You know, I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have a wife, and I've heard people say that when you're my age, if it hasn't happened, it's not going to, but I'm a Christian. I believe that with God, all things are possible. So maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't, but I'm not going to lose faith, because God can do things that I wouldn't believe. You know, I think Jesus said, with man, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible. So I try to keep that in mind when I feel pessimistic about my life, and when I hear, you know, secular people telling me, or just putting the message out there that, you know, at some point it's too late for you. I'm never going to believe it's too late, because the second I give up, that's when I've lost. There's no guarantee of anything for me, but I'm going to keep going. So yeah, I guess that's my definition of what a loser is. That's my thoughts on the concept of a loser. I don't believe I am one. And I bet you a lot of people out there that society would call losers, in my book, they're not losers. They're just people who didn't succeed the way they wanted to. But if they keep trying, if they keep putting the effort, if they keep, you know, trying to better the world around them, they're not losers. A lot of them are very smart, capable people who just had bad luck or what have you. So yeah, I guess I'm just kind of repeating myself and going in circles here. So I think I'll just end this video before it gets too rambly. So thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you later.